Hey guys, welcome back to RLDesign.Innovation. My name's Brian. Today's project is taking phrases such as happy birthday, congratulations, have a great trip, I'm sorry for your illness, and turning them into a sign like this using any font that you have in your system. I'm going to show you how to meld those letters so you can make a cake topper or a sign for like a table where you say table 1, table 2, signs for floral arrangements. So let's get going. Okay, I'm in LightBurn 2.0 release candidate 8. There's a lot of new features in there. I've done a video in the past highlighting some new features. The purpose today is to do, like I said, let's take some text and meld it. And I'll show you how to do it with whatever font you choose. So we're going to do 2 words. Happy, that's 1 word. And I'm going to do another one, anniversary. A-N-N-I-V-E-R-S-A-R-Y. Make sure I spell it right. Now, what's the first thing we want to do? Do you like this font? Maybe yes, maybe not. Let's see, maybe we'll pick a different font. All right, I chose one font for this. Let's make it a little bigger. And what you have to do, here's the first thing. Let me move this out of the way first, this anniversary word out of the way. We're gonna work with 1 word at a time. Some people like to use script, but you can use any type font you want. And the thing that you have to do first, and I'll show you, select this word that you want to join, right click, and the first thing we do is convert to path. Convert the word into individual node paths. So if I select this right here, go right here, you see I'm just choosing D, right? And I did move it a little bit. Now here's what you have to do. In order to get these to cut out properly, you have to join them. So what you can do is we can move this over. I'm going to move the H over. And I'll show you 2 different ways of doing this. You want it to touch. You see how I'm touching? I'm getting it to touch right here like this. You do that. Now we're going to do the P. We're going to do the same exact thing. And then I'll show you a different technique after of what to do. We're going to move that little circle. Let's see, you can move it up. We can make it a little fancy, like something like this. The little circle, that's part of the P. Move that right here. Now we're going to move this P over and do the exact same thing. We can do it like something like this, just for argument's sake. And I'll show you how we support this in a minute or 2. We'll do 1 word just to give you an idea. And when you're doing this, you can actually, we can turn it, make it a little fancy. Go in here like this. Okay. So now if you notice, this word, everything is touching. So what do we do next? I'm going to highlight this whole word like this. Then I'm going to come over here to the Boolean and I'm going to join them. And look what it does. It made 1 word. So now I can cut that out. Okay, you just wanted happy. Let's forget about anniversary for now, okay? I'm going to delete it because you can put whatever word. The whole purpose of this is to show you the different techniques. Now what do? We need to make a stick, right? To add on to that. So I'm going to go rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I'll go from here and I'll do about here, right? I'll do about here. And then what I do, I just move it up. So it's joined right about there. Now, highlight this again and you do a Boolean again right over here. There it is. So now if I hit Alt P, now you'd have a cutout. Okay. Now let me show you a different way to do this. Let's delete this, and I'm going to do text again. Let's do the same thing. Happy, right there. We're going to leave it that font, just for argument's sake. Right there. Now, this is highlighted. I right-click, convert to path. So each one, again, is individual. Now, here's another way to do this. I'm going to make a little square, and you can do it wherever you like. If you want it here, and that way we're joining that way. But what I like to do is put it on the bottom pieces. And then what we do is this. I'm going to highlight H. I'm going to make it a bigger H so it stands out. Make this in here like this. If you notice, they're all joined. I'm going to highlight everything, right click, convert to path. Now they're each individual, right? Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do the Boolean add again. Now they're one. If I hit Alt P, it's one thing. Now you say, okay, now where do we put a stake in here for it to be on a cake per se? So I'm going to go over here, hit the little box, and I'm going to do it right about here. You can make it how thick, how long you want it. If you need it long for a plant, move it up here again. Now I'm going to hit the arrow key. Highlight all of them. Again, Boolean add. There you go. I'm going to show you one other way to do this. Let's do a text again, and maybe this one will print out. I'm going to say table 2 over here, but what I'm going to do is I want to put this on like a balloon. Make it look like a balloon. So now I'm going to do a circle, or ellipse, I should say. Something like that's a balloon, right? I'm going to go in the middle. Now I'm going to hit this. You can say, uh-oh, it's not going to fit properly. I don't want it. I want it to look like it's blending. So right over here, you see the little blue thing? We're going to arc it. Make it just about this. Just about in here. I forgot to put the number sign. So let me go back. And I just double clicked and say table number 2. Hit OK. And you could change it. You can move it around. You could, if I double click it again, maybe you don't want that space between table and the pound sign. Take that out. And you could change the font. You could do whatever you'd like. I'm just keeping it basic, giving you ideas. Now, I'm going to move this up a little bit. I want everything attached, but I want it crazy. I'm going to move. Let me do this. I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to convert to path. And this is important because now what I want to do, I'm going to go to the arrow. I want to select the 2. I get there. Let me zoom in. Sometimes you got to zoom in. Makes it easier. I don't want so much of the 2 inside. Now, I like it like this. I don't like the angle. So I'm going to manually change angle. I'm going to move it closer to the 2, to the pound sign. So I'm going to do something like that. Then we're going to look at all of them. Do you like it? I don't like the T. So zoom in. Let's change the angle again. Like this. It doesn't have to be so far in. Something like this. I think everything else is pretty good. So what do? We highlight everything. Oh, let me get rid of this thing I drew before by accident. Now we highlight everything. And we're going to say, again, melding it. There you go, table 2. Then what you do, you paint this. You can paint the balloon red. You can paint the table 2 white. But let's add a little stake in here. I'm going to go here, go to rectangle, and I'm going to go like this. It doesn't need to be that thick. Something like this. And we're going to go right here. Again, highlight it and meld it. Now, you're going to say, let me put on my camera on the laser. Let me turn that on. I'm going to show. And I just have a scrap piece of wood in here that I use for just testing and whichever. So say I wanted, this is like a 12-inch piece. I don't want it, just for testing purposes. I don't need it that big. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to just go right here. And then I would paint it anyway, so it doesn't matter what's on the board. Now, the first thing I want to do is adjust my layers. Now we're cutting. Don't forget, we're cutting out. So I go here. I have a material library. This is 2mm wood. I'm going to cut. I'm going to assign. So the speed is 20. The power is 90. I'm just going to adjust the power to 100, just for the heck of it. And we're going to start. Okay, it's finished. Let me show you what it looks like. We just created, again, this is scrap wood, table 2. What I'm going to do now is just put a quick coating of white paint on it, and you can see what it looks like. All finished. Okay, so this is the table 2 cut out a little balloon. I just had white paint available, so paint red or green, whatever colors you want. Maybe put a little white in the middle with a little square to give it an illusion of a 3D effect. But look how simple this is to make a little table sign. Again, our happy birthday cake topper. So today we learned some techniques, which I called melding, is moving the letters together and welding them. My term, melding. We created the table sign with number 2. We created the cake topper. Again, purpose for this video was not to show you happy birthday table, to show you the technique on how you can take letters, put a phrase together, meld them, cut them out. Very simple, very easy. Till next time, please subscribe, thumbs up. If you have questions, send them. And check out my Etsy store for the camera, which we use for the Xtool S1 kit. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Have a great week, everyone.